Morning, Kettleland. It's 9 minutes ahead of the hour. We'll get to today's top stories in just a moment. But first, let's send it to meteorologist Brian Karstens for a check on your morning forecast and a pleasant start to the day at the lake, Brian.
Yes, indeed. And I'm sure the lakes will be at least a spot to get some relief from the heat coming up, although we're aware, too, of the stronger winds that are part of the forecast as we get into, especially on Saturday at Yankton. 60 degrees right now in Chamberlain. Good morning there. 57 degrees in Aberdeen. Watching the skies in the northeast here later tonight and this evening. Some thunderstorms will be popping up. Most of our day part forecast is just hot. High 90 Sioux Falls, 97 in Chamberlain. Forecast lows tonight. Again, keep in mind some scattered thunderstorms. In particular, in the far northeast, we'll watch that. Sisseton's low at 64. Take a look at tomorrow. 97 degrees in Sioux Falls with a south wind at 20 to 35. 102 in Yankton. 106 or 107 Phillip and Chamberlain. That is just plain hot. One last look at the forecast is coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Brian. A Sioux Falls man is dead after a late-night crash on the west side of town.
It happened just before midnight Tuesday night on I-29 near 12th Street. A semi pulling two trailers was heading north in a construction zone when the wheel hit a concrete barrier.
That sent the second trailer into the air and it landed on the car in the next lane. The 59-year-old man driving the car was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the semi was not hurt.
A Freeman High School basketball coach is on probation for 1 year for violating off-season rules. State Activities Association Director Dan Swartis said these type of violations are often mistakes or misunderstandings.
For example, a coach holding a practice before the allowed practice season starts or contacting the team more than the 4 times in the off-season. Swartis said the association receives a handful of reported violations each year. South Dakota has received almost $2 million in an opioid payment from Janssen Pharmaceuticals, and more money is on the way.
Johnson & Johnson, which owns Janssen, agreed to pay states more than $5 billion over 9 years. South Dakota is expected to receive almost $10 million from the settlement.
Altogether, South Dakota is estimated to receive nearly $80 million in funds from companies that helped fuel the opioid epidemic. These funds will be used for addiction treatment, prevention, and recovery.
In response to this year's measles outbreak, the South Dakota Department of Health is launching public vaccination clinics.
They'll be located in several communities, including Rapid City, Pierre, Hot Springs, and Sturgis. The announcement comes as the state confirms 2 more measles cases, bringing the total this year to 4 cases in the state.
You can find the details on that and the locations and hours for the clinics in a KELLOLAND.com original by Jacob Newton.
With the heat rising this week, it's important to know how to handle it.
This includes limiting time outdoors during the hottest parts of the day.
Usually if you are adequately hydrated and you avoid spending an extreme amount of time out in the hot conditions, you wouldn't be exposed to the risk.
Doctors say an average adult should drink 8 cups of water a day to stay hydrated.
South Dakota officials are proposing a 10% reduction in the payment standard for the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, or TANF program.
Early Learner South Dakota says there are unspent funds that are available to cover the costs. The Department of Social Services says the TANF budget was cut by $5 million in general funds.
The Department of Social Services will have its public hearing in the Department of Social Services building in Sioux Falls at 11 a.m. tomorrow. For more info on the TANF program, check out this KELLOLAND.com original by Michael Dorn.
A South Dakota school known for its role in cybersecurity is expanding its educational resources. Dakota State University officially launched its cybersecurity clinic Wednesday afternoon. The clinic allows DSU students to work hands-on with small businesses.
This clinic is going to be a real asset for South Dakota and for beyond. I mean, this is going to allow people to go out and make sure that small businesses are protected in the way they need to be protected.
DSU received a $1 million grant from Google to fund the clinic.
A downtown Sioux Falls business owner has now created a new event for the community. Owen Monahan owns 605 Thrift Heat in the 8th and Railroad Center. Now he's also running the second Saturday market with his friend DJ Watkins.
We take on over 30 vendors. We do food trucks. We have live music. There's family-friendly games like beanbags. There's going to be life-size Jenga. There might be even a life-size Connect 4, but it's just a great atmosphere, and it's located downtown Sioux Falls.
The second Saturday market is this Saturday night from 6:30 to 10 in the back parking lot at the 8th and Railroad Center.
The USTA National Trampoline and Tumbling Championships are underway in Rapid City. The athletes have been training and competing since late October. This year brought together 1,650 athletes from 122 clubs in the country for their shot at a national title.
I think one of the coolest things about the USTA is everyone matters and everyone is valued. And I think it's great that all of our athletes are celebrated at every age range and every ability level. So we've got our little biddies that are going to be here later in the week that are going to be doing those forward rolls. They're just as important to us as our upper level kids going behind me.
The national competition will continue in Rapid City through tomorrow at Summit Arena.
Kids are exploring hip-hop music at a camp in Sioux Falls this week. Levitt Hip Hop Jam Camp is underway on Augustana University's campus. Middle schoolers are exploring different aspects of hip-hop creation, such as writing lyrics and building beats. They're also learning about hip-hop dance. The campers will perform Saturday night as part of the opening act at the Levitt.
And they're going to want to bring their water bottle to the Levitt on Saturday evening and anywhere you go all weekend, Brian.
Oh, a very hot weekend. Absolutely. Just be aware of that because these kind of temperatures are definitely headline makers. We've got 61 in Sioux Falls right now, anticipating about 90 today, but tomorrow and Saturday we begin this. Heat headlines and extreme heat watch is in effect for most of eastern Ketherland. It does run into most of Minnesota and behind me here too in northwest Iowa. So the heat index will probably end up peaking out around 105. It's either just dry heat or heat and humidity combo, depending on where you live here, but it is going to be a story. There also could be some storms tonight. We're watching this, a marginal risk of severe weather in eastern and central South Dakota. A slight risk running down the line there from eastern North Dakota down toward Willmar, Minnesota. So just be aware of that. Futurecast still hints at some thunderstorms. In fact, I would argue around Aberdeen and that northeastern corner of South Dakota, we're getting some thunderstorm possibilities at 9 p.m. tonight, and then we'll see if those will roll southeast. See that? That's something that's just beginning to emerge a little bit better on a scenario there. And then, of course, after that, we're just going to crank up the heat. Now let's look at that 7-day forecast one more time here. Close to 100 this weekend, Saturday and Sunday in Sioux Falls. Sunday night, Monday, we get a cold front. That's going to bring some relief. Cooler temperatures, shower and thunderstorm chances will come into the forecast as well. That's something we'll continue to pay close attention to for next week. Chances of rain also in the forecast for Aberdeen starting on Monday after a very hot weekend. And right at 100 degrees tomorrow in Pierre and 100-degree heat also on Saturday. Rapid City, lower 100s start tomorrow and continue at least through Saturday. Guys?
Thank you, Brian. That's our time. Thanks for watching.
Have a tremendous Thursday.